Hey folks, Tim Newman of Soft Lite Studios bringing you yet another daily assignment. This assignment for August 8th, 2019. Our assignment today is titled Bridges. So go out and bridge the gap today. Find some compelling bridges near you. Bridges are a source of pride for engineers, cities, and even countries. These engineering marvels contain some amazing lines, shapes, and form. Capture your best image of a bridge near you today. Let's take a look at a couple of sample images. Can't go too far without immediately recognizing that this is the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City, a source of pride for New York City, the state of New York, and even the United States. This bridge was designed way back in the day by John Roebling, and it truly is an engineering marvel for its time. And what's really amazing about this bridge is that it is still in daily use today by literally hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers every day that are walking, running, bicycling, or even driving back and forth across this bridge. For a photographer, this is a fantastic place to go shoot. Tons of leading lines in this bridge, as you can see evident by this picture here, that lead in all sorts of different directions, and great place to shoot. Really requires you to be on your toes just because of the traffic that you encounter, but it's a fun shoot all the same. I think in this image here, you can see the leading lines that are evident, the rule of thirds that's being applied here, and the very careful perspective that was selected for this image. Can't go too far without recognizing that this is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. This is obviously an image taken from across the bay, looking back at the city. This would be up at Marin Headlands State Park. They still haven't fixed the light on the other side of the span there, but I just didn't have the heart to Photoshop it in. At any rate, what's really cool about this picture, if it's shot at the right time, is you get this really nice contrasting red of the bridge with the blue hour in the background. And then, of course, the city lights having that kind of orangish red glow really work well here as well. I think you see a pretty carefully controlled point of view here, looking at the Trans-American building through the span. That was no accident. Pretty close to a rule of thirds going on here, and color set definitely managed. Let's take a look at some elements of design here that we're concerned about. Again, lines are critical in these bridges, and these lines all coming together are going to form lots of shapes. And certainly, done the right way, form is another element to these bridges that you might want to consider. Let's take a look at some more examples. This is Columbus, Ohio's very own Main Street Bridge. And this bridge is the only single arch cantilever bridge in the world. It's a small bridge and a little unassuming in size, but it definitely has a cool design aesthetic to it. I think you recognize the diagonal working through the frame, and clearly a great sunset there in the background, turning this into kind of a semi-silhouette, which is nice. Here's another bridge, Mackinac Bridge, up in the Straits of Mackinac, Michigan. At one point, the longest suspension bridge in the world at over 5 miles. And it changed the game for hunters and fishermen going to the Upper Peninsula, but it also is an iconic image when captured the right way. Looks really great. So that's another one that's on our list of bridges to definitely photograph. Last but not least, not every bridge has to be man-made. In fact, sometimes if man leaves things alone, it turns out better. This is the Ochoa Bridge in Bridges National Park out in Utah. Really great bridge, and if you get some time to hike around out there, really great place to see that from. So let's take a look at some of the rules of composition here. Rule of thirds is definitely important in these guys. Might even flip the order here with point of view. Point of view definitely solidifies how these scenes come together. And I think you'll agree that balance here is really important too. Definitely balancing in terms of geometric balance for sure, making sure that the bridge is balanced out with the surrounding elements or the surrounding negative space in the scene. Okay, last slide for you. Here are our export specifications if you wish to upload your file for consideration in our semi-monthly image critique. Here's an example file name for one of today's uploads and our naming standard. If none of that makes sense to you, please take a look at the Update 01 video, for which there is a link provided in the description below. Our upload URL is shown here at the bottom. That link is also in the description below. And then, of course, off to the side, there's that all-important red subscribe button. Did you know that was a link as well? Well, it is. Okay, go find some bridges and give us your best images of those bridges. And while you're doing it, remember that learning equals skills, practice equals mastery. We'll see you out there.